Coda recently released some new updates. Some are quality of improvement updates, and one of them is a plugin for Figma that connects your FigJam files with your Coda tables. In this video, we are exploring two main updates. One is Subtables in Coda tables and how the experience of using them is much improved. And the second one is the FigJam plugin that connects your Figma files with Coda tables dynamically in a two-way sync. The first update that we are looking at is Subtables. Subtables are what you see whenever you open a page that has a related table in it. For example, that could be in a project management system. You might have projects related to multiple tasks, and you want to see those tasks inside your project page, while at the same time also maintaining that master table view in the tasks table. And beforehand, that would require you to go always to the edit layout to make sure that here you turned the table option on and you also adjusted the columns. But there were many bugs when setting up this layout that would jump out of this view and take you back to the original table for some reason. Now all those bugs have been removed, and let's look at how this change looks and what you can do with subtables inside Coda pages. Whenever you have a table, and here is an example, we have a sample projects table and there is a relation column to a tasks table that is on another page in this doc. You can see first of all that there is a new button here that is automatic and that is native within Coda. That's a pleasant new addition that allows you to avoid having to always create a button at the top of your pages in the doc to make sure that people can quickly create new pages. And this button is also editable, which you can do from here, where you can change the label, icon, the color, and you can also decide if you want to open the row for editing whenever someone clicks that button or not. And you can see here, whenever you go to the table options under table display, you can see a improved user interface for managing how your table displays. Now let's get into subtables. Whenever I open a project page in this example, I want to see all the tasks related to that project inside the page directly. And now that is possible just by toggling that option on here. I can go table, and I can't just display a table, but also any other type of table view within Coda. And that's a great addition because it allows you to display the data as you like, also inside pages in tables. So in this case, let's assume we want to look at tasks in a cards view. There you go. And then here, the filter is automatically applied for you because that's a dynamic filter that says only show tasks related to this project in this case. In addition, you then have all the options that you usually have when setting up a normal table, but in this case, that's in this subtable within projects. So you can sort tasks maybe according to the status and the due date. You can also group them maybe by the status on the left, and you can add conditional format. You can hide or show columns as you like. And you can see that the experience is very smooth right now. It doesn't jump to different parts of your doc. It just works like you would set up a normal table in your Coda doc. And then you can click on each task to open that preview and walk through them, and then we change the status to overdue or done, and that will then change the status grouping right there. And that resolves the clunky user experience that was before for subtables, making it very easy to now display data very nicely also inside table pages. The second main update is a Figma plugin from Coda, which I just downloaded from the Figma plugin community. You can find the link in the description. And let's go to the process of setting this up, starting from the very first connection that we need to make between Figma and Coda, and seeing how a Coda table can sync with your FigJam file. So I'm going to get started here with the Coda plugin, and I'm going to paste an API token, which I can get from my Coda account right here. I'm going to get the API token and then get back to you. You can see here, I'm going to generate an API token and give it a name. If I want, I can also add restrictions, but for this example, I'm not doing that. So I'm generating the API token and I'm going to copy the token, go back to FigJam, and I will paste the token right here and do next. Now let's connect a table. Here, we want to paste a link to our Coda table that we want to connect. So let's assume, for our example, that is this sample project table. So I'm clicking on the three dots next to the table name, and I'm going to copy link, go back to FigJam, paste the link, connect. There you go. So we see that the table name is sample projects, that is correct. And we can convert stickies to rows, or import existing table rows, or add a new row. So in this example, I'm gonna import existing table rows. So the sync is running right now. And you can see that you go, we've got a bit of ideas. This is a playground that Coda created from this template from FigJam that I just uploaded to test this out. And I can see sample 1, 2, and 3 are right here, which correspond to my projects in Coda. I can also open this and see the tasks related to that, which I can edit in FigJam. I can also view all. It allows me to open that up in a better panel. Now let's see what happens if I change test task 2 to test task 3. I'm gonna refresh. And as you can see in Coda, for sample 1, I have test task and test task 3 right here connected, which in fact, it looks like it is formatted as text. So that sync doesn't seem to work very well when it comes to using relation columns, but it can work for other type of columns right there. So that's an initial limitation that we have right here. Now let's say I'm going to add a new sample project here, sample 4, and we can sync again. And I can see that that is not syncing properly after a few minutes. But if I were to add a new row here, you can see I can move it right there. I can do sample 5. And if I go to Coda, I can see that a new row was created indeed. And it's still running right there. And I can see after a few seconds that the name was populated properly in Coda as well. Then here I can also change the color of each card. And an additional useful functionality is you can sync stickies with a Coda table. So you can select it like this, and then you can select convert stickies to rows. That is in the sample project table that we already connected in our Coda doc. And if we go to the Coda doc, we can see that all those stickies were converted to new rows. And we also have a number column that I called count test that is synced with the thumb up stamp that people can add from here. And you can see that there is a count of all the thumbs up that are in each sticky. So for example, for the last sticky, there are 2 thumbs up. And I can see that limited time offers, that is the last one here, has a count of 2 thumbs up. And this doesn't update dynamically at this time. So if I add a new sticky right here, for example, it doesn't really show up on the table. So it is best to do this sync after you are done with your brainstorming, for example, with the stickies, and then adding stamps to vote on ideas. To sync these things, you can always go to the settings of the Coda plugin. And you can see, for example, the thumbs up is synced with the count test column. And if I want, I can create an additional number column in here. Then I'm going to call count down, and I can sync maybe the thumb down with the countdown column. So first I will need to refresh the table to make sure the appropriate columns are synced, also the new columns, so that the Coda API does its job. And once that is done, I can see the column show up right there, and I can save settings. And then if I want to sync both of these, then I will need to delete these columns, and I'm gonna do the sync, convert stickies to rows after selecting the rectangle there, the canvas to sync. And you can see that we have both thumbs up and thumbs down. That is it for the new features in Coda, Subtables, and the FigJam Coda plugin. For any questions or thoughts, feel free to drop comments down below. You can find useful links in the description of this video. Thanks for watching for now, and see you in the next one.